Hey, just Arnold back here again with Flex MP. In today's training, we're going to go over nutrition, today's topic. Now, most people can tolerate the working out part, but when it comes to health, the working out part is the easy part. The nutrition seems to be the toughest. So, I get questions all the time like, should I count my calories? Should I weigh my food? Should I cut carbs? Should I cut fats? Will my intake change if I work out? Do I need to eat my veggies? Yes, people actually ask me that. We're going to go over all these different things and all the questions that you might have that I might not even mention there. But the point is, I get a lot of questions about food, nutrition. Am I eating too much? Am I eating too little? Isn't it as easy as cutting calories? And you know what? I might answer that today, but it's not as easy as a plus or minus. If that was the case, everybody would be perfect, right? Because that's what people do. They cut first, or if they want to make gains, they just start eating. So we're going to go over that. I'm going to show you how I go through my initial consultation, the app that I use with clients, and if macros your thing, we'll do a little bit on that. But you have to know if you're working out 3 days a week, and let's say you were doing an hour each time, that's 3 hours, you're putting in a lot of work in that gym, but there's still 165 hours or so left in the week. So you got to think about that. That's where the nutrition, the rest, the recovery comes in. So we're going to go over that. In fact, I'm going to share my screen here to show over our initial assessment. So let's do that. Here we go with share screen. Awesome. Here we go. Desktop. And there it is. So that's my Zoom. Okay, here we go. Hopefully you can see this. So this is what I use. This is initial assessment and triage question. Obviously, I'm going to get your name. I'm going to learn a little bit more about you, some basic stuff. This is all for free, by the way. I forgot to mention that. And then we're going to get specific. So, what do you want? Commonly, most people it's to lose weight or to lose fat, and we could click as many as we want here. Maybe it's to add some muscle. Maybe it's to improve some health. You got other. Maybe it's to look better. Who doesn't want to look better? I think that's the big thing that people want, improve physical fitness, whatever that might be. And this is to get know you better, to know where your goals are going. Big things too. Why do you want to change? This gets into mindset, and we're going to go over mindset in the next training and why that's important. But you can see with nutrition, we're already starting to get into some of those. Have you tried anything else in the past? Why are these things working well for you? All these questions we're going to go over. So we're going to spend about an hour or so together. Right now, how would you rank your overall eating? Some great stuff here. Once we go through this form and get to know a little bit more about you, including who's doing the grocery shopping, who's doing the cooking in your house, we're going to go over and we're going to add you to our ProCoach system. Here we go with that. So this is that ProCoach. You can see my wife is in here. From there, we're going to I'm going to send you out a nice questionnaire after we go through that initial assessment. And then once we get that, we're going to be able to have a Quickstart guide. And this is where we can go a little bit deeper into your carbs, your fats, your protein. So I'm going to download hers and show you what that looks like. All this is formulated to be able to get the most perfect thing for you. So Quickstart guide prepared by Justin, created for Alexis Arnold. She's a blessed woman. And this is something that we'll go over together, of course. And I'll actually send this out prior to us meeting. Oh, you just saw that. Hopefully you didn't see that. We'll scroll past that. Show some of her goals a little bit. Talk about her activity level. Talk about her main goal. And this is where we actually talk about carbs, fats, and protein a little bit. So people ask me all the time about carbs, fats, and protein, and I look for clients to get a balance at every meal, no matter what they look like, and I actually don't go with weighing and measuring and calorie counting unless somebody specifically asks it, or their goals are more of an elite level. They're more advanced, they're trying to get to a bodybuilding stage, or they're like a semi-pro or pro athlete or Olympic lifter. But as far as everything, this is what we'll go over. We'll talk about, that palm portion. And if you're not doing it, take these nuggets with you. I look at a palm portion for protein. So that's this guy right here. A portion of fist, so that vegetables, which I'm all about. Load up as much as you want. Portion of carbs, that's that cupped hand. So you're going to grab, get a wife's approval, make sure your hands are clean, especially, but, say you're having some nice, healthy, wild or brown rice, you could grab it like that. That's your portion. you know, that equals about a half a cup or so. And a portion of fat, that's your thumb. So, you know, for men, it's usually going to be about 2 for most meals, but this breaks up to her. So for her needs for each meal, thinking she's eating 3 meals a day, this gives you an idea. And this could be something similar to you. You're similar to my wife's goals, similar to my wife's size, but 1 or 2 palms portions of protein, and give some examples, because I'm not going to leave you hanging. I want you to know some good healthy food. Again, this is all free stuff. Pretty cool. 1 or 2 fistful of veggies per meal, 1 to 2 hand cups of carbohydrates. You know, she is working out, you know, 3 days a week, or 1 or 2 thumbs of a healthy fat. Give some examples there. You know, how do you shop for? We're going to go over shopping. We're going to go over all these things to give you some basic ideas. So adding that, I'm going to kick off here from the stop sharing for a little bit and just kind of just talk directly to you. Like, you know, so why do we need proteins, carbs, and fats at each meal? So proteins, they're used to build or repair muscle, and they're even used to fight infection. So that's key, especially when you've had a surgery or anything. You'll need to up your protein levels. But I think people put protein on this holy grail, and while it's very important, we can't forget carbs and fats. I would never prescribe a diet regime, paleo, keto, any of that for any client, because you're unique, and more studies have shown that we need more of a whole foods living, a whole foods diet approach for sustainability. And with that whole foods, we need about 80-20 lifestyle. But back to this. Carbs, I mean, that's our main source of energy. So if you're neglecting carbs for too long, you know, a lot of people want to just cut the carbs because they've demonized them. But, you know, I look at it as carbs as your main energy source, especially if you're starting to work out. You're going to actually need to up your carbs. That's going to aid in muscle growth and size and even cognitive function. So if you're feeling sluggish in your brain and you've got your carbs, that could be a sign that your body's craving them. They need them. And then fat also gives you energy. So there are times, if done correctly under supervision, that when you do cut it down or lower carbs, your body might go for fat. Again, might. Fat, because fat does give you energy and helps your body absorb certain vitamins and minerals. They're also good for hormones, joints, cognitive function as well. So fat. So if you're cutting too much fat too, which a lot of people tend to do, your body may not be having optimal energy absorption. And what's a typical breakdown I like to do as far as that? You know, it again depends on clients' needs, activity levels, what their goals are, but a 40-30-30 approach. So we're looking at like 40% of that to be about carbohydrates, 30% to be about protein, and 30% to be about fat. And we're looking at that as, you know, as far as calorie percentages, because if we looked at it like grams or anything, that'd be way off. And we would help you figure all that out. And I'll show you here a little bit later on in the video if we're looking more specific to how we get that needs. That ProCoach app is one way, but if we want to get more specific with macros, there is another. Now the 80-20 rule, that kind of looks into, you know, if you're familiar with like your cheat day, you know, I don't like to necessarily call it a cheat day. I like to look at it as like just flexibility, being realistic with yourself, you know, being okay with, hey, 80% of the week, I'm doing pretty well. And then ever so often, if I want to have a piece of pizza or a cake, you know, that creates sustainability. You know, I don't see anything wrong with that. And I'm not a big fan on demonizing food. Food shouldn't be a moral issue. It shouldn't be one of these things that we, you know, bad food, good food. I look at it as like great or good, better, best in a way. And I think that's a better way to even teach our children on how to eat, because then we get a psychological effect to food. So this is a much better approach, and that's how I would teach you through that. So let's go back to sharing this screen here. So we're going to go back to sharing it again. So anyways, as we go down here, you know, smart carbohydrates, you can kind of get an idea. Take a screen grab if you want. But again, if you set up that free appointment with us, we'll go through a lot of these things. You'll get your own personalized 30-day approach to that. And I'm going to put that link down below. And as far as activity, this is what she told me. And this is, you know, so workout nutrition, even like what to do before, during, you can get a lot of value out of this after your workouts, you know, and then how we put that all into practice. So some pretty cool stuff here, even goes in through the cooking. And then as far as, where's this other one? So this is if we wanted to get a more detailed approach. So I would put in your name. Let's just put in like Justin. Let's just put me in. So I don't weigh myself very often, but I think I'm like 165. So it gives you an idea. my height. Can I lie here? So anyways, we're 5 foot. I'm going to say 8.5. Give me that half inch. So I am male. Oh, they put it up to 9. I'm going to take it. You're going to let me have that. And then I am 39 years old. So pretty simple stuff. This is what I'd go over with you. Now let's select your goal. Let's say I want to build athletic performance. So we're going to hit next on this. So again, this is a program to work with everybody. Weekly performance exercise. Let's say, you guys have watched me. I like to give myself a little intense. Daily activity levels, including purposeful exercise. I would say at least moderate. And so there's my physical activity multiplier, which I can change it if I'd like to. But then that gives me a range off off everything from the details of the goals to the activity. From there, we're going over diet preferences. So I don't really have, I'm not fully plant-based. For those that don't know, I eat about 80% and the research is there. I'm going to actually put Mediterranean on this because I feel like I'm more on that. So customize macro, customize interdesign. I'm going to say balance. I really believe in balance. How many meals per day? I'm eating like 5 or 6, by the way. So I'm putting in 5 on average. Download Justin's complete guide. So this goes over, you can kind of look. I can download it, but this can give you a scroll. So this could be you. Super simple if we want to go that extra level. They're actually showing me macro percentages, 30% protein, 30% carbs, and 35% fat. So the fat most likely would mean because I'm looking for performance to help lubricate the joints, the tendons, the ligaments, but also, again, aids in that recovery. Look at 5 pounds. Here's what that breakdown looks like per day for me. And this is really good because I haven't mentioned this yet, but most of the people that I work with, whether they want to gain weight, lose weight, maintain, nobody seems to be even eating enough. And that even especially goes for weight loss. You can eat too little, way too little, and your body just kind of hits at a standstill, So obviously if you're trying to make gains or maintain, eating too little could be problematic. But even if you're trying to lose weight, I've seen it time and time again. Eating too little, too little. Again, it's not as simple as plus or minus. Eating too little can be counterproductive. It can actually make you gain fat, cannibalize your muscle, create some hormonal issues. So if you're a woman listening out there, I don't want to go down a rabbit hole here, but definitely there's issues with eating way too little, eating not enough nutrient-dense food. And that's what we're looking at too. I want to influx your body with nutrient density, as many nutrients as possible. I want you to get a new outlook for biggest bang for your buck. And now we're talking about volume of food at the grocery store, but nutritional density at the store as bang for your buck. You fill your body with more nutrient dense foods, those whole foods that we'll show you, as little as processing as possible. That's where you're going to get you closer to your goals. And it's going to be much easier to sustain without having the craving. So even though I'm allowing an 80-20 lifestyle, most people find that they don't need it when they're getting what they need. And this is totally an easy system that is going to help with that. And and that's pretty much as far as the nutritional layout. This is all something we'll set up with you personally. You just got to schedule it. I'm going to put that link below. I'm also going to put it at the end of this video. Now, if this sounds like something like you, and you want that 30-day approach, great. You get that for free. Now, if you want the long-term approach to get to your true goals that we find out in that initial, what's your real goal? A lot of people want to lose weight, gain weight, but what's the real reason you want to do that? I'm here to be with you that entire time. If it's 3 months, if it's 6 months, if it's a year, I've worked with people for long periods of time to get them there, to be with them every step of the way, to customize and personalize not only a movement, but their nutritional plan. I mean, you're individual from who you are, your DNA to your activity level, to your goals. Be unique and have that unique approach. And if that sounds like something you want to be a part of, click that link again. Thanks for checking out this video. Check out our next training that's going to be coming up soon. It's going to be on mindset, which I believe, where I said nutrition is probably more important than movement. Mindset is probably my favorite topic and probably the most important one to listen to talk about. You see me on my social media. I talk about it pretty regularly, pretty passionate about why that's so huge. Because I always say something, what you tell yourself every day is what you become. Well, I'm here to help how to change that or evolve that or make that better. And that's on that next video. So again, thanks for tuning in. Hope this found this of value. If you got any questions or comments, please put that below. Take care.